Hi folks, this is class exercise number 4, the last part. Remember this Figma we did from class exercise number 3, and this is what we're going to code. So I'm going to modify this a little bit so it doesn't look too much like a piece of paper that you're turning in for an English class or nothing like that, but make it more look like a website with it as well. So you're welcome to follow along with me with it as well on this as well. This is supposed to be a wireframe, by the way, which is just a black and white wireframe. The reason why I had the kind of like the blue background here, so you can see the transparent background of this particular banner with it. But in actuality, when you're designing UI user interface with it, the first step you need to do is to not put color in there, because the moment you color stuff, it begins to look like the finished product, and the finished product looks like it's very distracting with color. So it needs to be black and white, and get the function flow, everything with it, and then you add the color in there with it. So so I don't want that to be lost in this discussion with it as well. Anyways, find the layer that you have, which is your name, the class name, a number, and the name of this exercise. If you click on the eye, and that's the one it looks like it with, if you click on that layer and just hit delete, it just goes away with it. And I want to build another layer at the bottom with this. Well, so click on the T tool right here and come to the bottom, and if you want to draw a little bottom box at the bottom of this thing, you can say something along the line, Dan, Dow, and I want you to put your name on here with it, so and make this into your class with it. So it's 2315. Let me just write your name goes here. How's that? So everybody, your name goes here. All right. So something along the line like this, and I want everybody to put 2315, and then your semester and year. Okay. So in this case, it's summer, fall, spring, and then the year that you're taking this class on with it as well. All right. So you can also look at here and how you want to align this as well. Align horizontal, or make that, highlight it. Highlight it. And you can align it based off by using some of these design tools that you have over here as well with it. So it's up to you. Okay, so I'm not gonna have you do any of the stuff too much to it, but kind of get it line center with it. And again, this is a design tool. Figma is a design tool with it as well, right? So go in and take a look at it and play with it a little bit with it. But I want your name at the bottom instead of the top with it as well. So keeping this in mind with it, this is what we're about to code. So keep this in the background with this, and as you look through this, this is like a div tag, and you're going to put in each one of these. This is an image, and we're going to code this thing as a list with it, right? With a header H1, and this is what's unlisted. There's all the stuff that's listed here as well, right? So here we go. So this is the visual code. A clean slate with it. So if you want to click on a new folder, I'm going to create a folder on my desktop with it. Like I said, I put just a little sandbox that I play. It's up to you where you want to put your local drive with it as well. So I have a desktop, and here I have a React folder with it. So you can create your own folder in here as long as you know where it is. Okay, that's the important thing with it. So I'm going to create a new folder called class EX, all in one word, don't put any spaces in there, EX, and then dash static underscore, let's do an underscore, static page. All right, like that, okay? So I uppercase the C, uppercase the E, and underscore, no spaces in there, because when you upload this particular file to the web server, you can't have any spaces or special characters in there. So it's very important how you name an identifier is the same as how you would actually name a folder. So when I mean identifiers, those who have me programming before, there's 3 things in identifiers: variables, constants, and functions. Variable, constants, and functions are identifiers, and I would like for you to name your folder like identifiers with it as well. So I'm going to go inside of this, and I'm going to select that folder. So it should be an empty folder right now. Okay, it's empty folder right now with it. So this is the file structure. I would like for you to keep it organized with this. Is that there is the first icon is the file. When I hover over it, you can see new file. When I hover over the second one, it says new folder. So we're going to create some folders here with it. of course, the JS folder is for the JavaScript, right? The second folder I like for you to create, not subdirectory, sorry. Make sure you click on the name of the name of your folder that you have on the top, and you click on this right here. This will actually create a subdirectory. If you click on the JS and then you click on the new folder, it's going to create a subdirectory underneath that. So make sure you click on that, the name of the folder, the parent directory, and then you click on that. So you see how it's lined up with it. The second one is the CSS with it. The third one I would like for you to create, make sure you click on that, is the image directory, IMG, for the image with it. So inside of the image directory, you have an image that I had you go in. I gave you an image in your class exercise number 4 I'd like for you to use. You can drag that in there right now. It's on eCampus. I had you already in there. I gave you this file with it, so let's do that. Let's get that image in there, or go back to class exercise number 3 with it. But I gave you an image there. Let's use that image with it, and that way it's a lot simpler and a lot cleaner in how you want to do this thing with it as well. And make sure it's a PNG, not the JPEG one. Okay, so hold on, let me find that. Here it is. It's the DC logo underscore RGB underscore master underscore mark. Let me rename that. Let's just call this thing DC logo. Make that easy for everybody with it. So I'm going to create this as one of your files that you're going to be uploading with it. So make sure that's in there. And that's what it looks like. Okay. So this is what the logo looks like with it. I provided this for you in the asset, in the zip file with it as well. Don't worry, you're going to have this with the instructions and with the other assignments that you're going to have in here as well. So this is what your file structures look like. I like for you to create it looking like this with it at this time with it. So make sure it looks like this. Again, inside of your JSS, I want you to create another file for me. Right mouse click on there, click on that folder, right mouse click on there. I want you to create a file. Let's call this file index.js. And enter. Alright. And inside of your CSS, again, we're going to create another file in there with it. Let's call this thing styles this time. It sounds very universal. Okay. So you have files inside of subdirectories for each one of these things, and when you take screenshots of this, I like for you to show all of this at this time. So when you click on your class up here, click on your class, the name of this class EX or class exercise 4 underscore static page, I'd like for you to click on it and then click on the plus sign on that one. Oh man, not that. I meant this. Yeah. Make sure you click on it. It's at a higher level with it. So I need to click off of this. Yeah, make sure you click off of it. So it won't let me click off of it. You know, not always it works perfectly with it, but let's click out of it. Right about outside of this thing, new, and I need for you to look at and call this thing index.html this time. So make sure your file structure is properly with it as well. So index.html is at the same level as your JS folder, is at the same level as your IMG folder, image folder, same level as your CSS folder. Not inside of any one of these things. Okay, not inside of any one of these things with it as well. So let me give you a second to look at this. Pause the if you need to zoom in, you can zoom in. And look at this file structure. This is what I need for you to do, and we're gonna bring in the template right here in a second. Okay, give me a second. So I need for you to take a look at this. I want to pause for a second. So it's about it's almost getting 10 minutes into the video with it. But before we get started on the second half of the coding for this thing with it, I want you to make sure you have the file structure looking like this. This is just a blank HTML index.html, which is outside, the only file that's sitting outside with it. It has to be like this. Make sure your file structure is properly. If it's not, I would take off points with it. The other piece is that your index is blank right now. It's inside of your JS folder that you created. This is the image that I gave you. Put that inside of a IMG folder, image folder, and styles.css is inside of your CSS folder. Your when you make sure you expand all of this when you take a screenshot of this thing right now with it. Okay, I'm going to stop the video right now. The next video part is we're going to start coding this static page right now and bring this in with it as well. So this concludes this particular section of video right now.